Welcome students, welcome to your computer class. Today we'll be reading our next topic of chapter 2 Python revision 2, that is lists in Python. Students, we have discussed about lists in chapter 1 also, and in 11th class also you have read the same topic. I have discussed many concepts about the lists in previous chapter also. Today we'll be covering some more facts about it. So what is a list? List is a data type of Python which can store data of any type. Fine. Any type means it can store integers like this, it can store the combination of integers and floats, it can store characters, it can store a mixed value types of all these, it can store only strings, or it can be an empty list also. So how do you identify it's a list? With the help of this square brackets, we will identify that we are dealing with a list. One more important property we have discussed earlier also, that lists are mutable. What do you mean by mutable? We have considered lists along with an example in last chapter. It was like it is modifiable. Modifiable matlab it means ki we can change the values inside these lists. If I want to replace this 2.5 with 3.5, so what I need to do? I need to refer to that index. Index will be, this will be list 0 element, this will be list 1 element. So if I write list 1 is equal to 3.5, then it will change 1, the new list will be, first element will be 1, next element will be 3.5, and next element will be 3.7. Fine. So in this way we can change the elements of the list. So we can say lists are mutable. Lists and dictionaries are also mutable. Fine. But your tuples, your strings, they are not mutable. Fine. Okay, let us now move to how to create a list. Initially you will be having your empty list, then you will be adding the values to it in the form of elements, then list will contain all those values, and empty list will be filled up. Fine. So now how to represent an empty list? See, either you use this square bracket to represent a list, or you can write this keyword list to represent a list. Both are right. It's your choice only. Instead of writing this keyword list, this function list, if you want to store lists in Python, then you can write it this way also. Both are right. Okay. Now creating list from an existing sequence means we can use the previous data types, like strings are containing something and we want to copy that particular value into the list. These all are data types. We have read it earlier also. List, string, tuples, dictionaries, they all are data types. So if we want to transfer the content of one data type to another, so how we can do that? Let us say here we want to copy the string, one of the string data in a list. How to write it then? See, directly here we are creating a list inside which we are passing the string. This is a string, hello is a string. So we are interested in converting this data into a list format. So by writing this sentence, this instruction I must say, we will get output like this. See, this is indicating it is a list. I told you for square brackets we'll always replace it with lists. Okay, so whatever data you are providing in form of string here will be written in the form of single alphabets like this in a list format. Okay, see, this round bracket indicates it's a tuple. I told you earlier also, this round bracket indicates the tuple. So if we want to store the value of tuple inside a list, then how to do it? Here we have done string to be converted to a list. Here we are doing tuple to be converted to a list. How? Then list function again will be using, and we will be passing this t variable here, which is storing this tuple. Fine. So in this way you are passing, and what it will be doing, it has passed all the values in list 2. So for printing L2 we are writing it, and it will give output in the form of list. Okay, Another way of taking input for a list is directly we can use the keyboard to take the input. So by this way, L1 is a variable which is going to store the value of the list that will be taking with the help of input function by means of keyboard through the user. Fine. So user has entered this, and you know how the string this particular value will be stored inside the list. Each element will be stored separately, separated by a comma. Fine. Now next is another function that we can use to take input is eval function. This will also construct a list. So using the input function, you can take value from the user and then you can print the list. So it will give the same output. This user has entered this, it has been printed with the help of print statement. Now what is the difference between a list and a string? In chapter 1 I told you these differences. Now I'm just revising it for you. Now there are many differences, actually two, three differences, 4, 5 similarities are there. So let us discuss them one by one. Length, first parameter on which we will be discussing what is the similarity is, first parameter will be taking up is length. So if we want to calculate the length of the string or the list, we can use this length function. Okay, with the help of this we can calculate the number of items present in that particular list or string. Then next basis on which we can say they are similar is indexing and slicing. As we know, we can refer to each element of the list or to each element of the string with the help of indexes. This is first 0th index, yani first element. This is the second index, this is the first index or second element. This is the third index, means it will be 0. It will be A0, sorry, it's a list, so it will be list 0, list 1, list 2, list 3, and similarly we will be identifying these elements for a string also. So with the help of these indexes we will be referring to the elements of lists and strings. Fine. Similarly, if you want to extract out a particular list or a substring within the given list, then we can use the index ranges from this to this using a colon operator. Fine. What I will write, 3 colon 5. So it will start from 3 and will take out the elements up to 4, not 5. Fine. Because we know in lists or in strings the ending index will not be counted. Fine. Next is the membership operators, in and not in. I told you these operators. In operator is basically used to check whether a particular substring is a part of the given string, or we can say in terms of list also, particular substring is a part of list, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. Not in is when we are checking it is not a part of it. If it is not a part of it, it refers to your substring. If substring is not a part of the string, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. Next is concatenation and replication operators. We know plus and multiplication. Plus is used to concatenate two lists and multiplication is used to replicate. Fine. Accessing individual elements with the help of these indices, we can refer to an individual element, like vowel 0 will refer to A, vowel 4 will refer to, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4, so it will refer to 4. Minus 1 is your backward index. Minus 1 will be U, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. Fine. So we will refer to the string or list in forward, or we can refer to them in backward direction also. Now what are the differences between the strings and lists? First difference is storage. See, in strings whatever we are storing is stored in the consecutive memory locations, starting from the first memory address. Fine. And that first memory address cannot be same every time we are storing something inside the memory. It will always be variant whenever we are storing. Fine. So storage in lists will be different. If we are storing a large amount of data by means of a list, then instead of storing this data directly, what will be storing? The address. Okay, wherever this value is being stored, I will store the address of it. Fine. If I cannot store the data directly, so what I will do, I will store addresses inside it. So in string we are storing the data directly, but if the data is too large, then we can store the address of that data in lists. In this way it varies. Fine. Okay, like if you want to let me take an example. Storing addresses, how means, if the data is large, I will give you, let us say you come to me, you called me and you said, ma'am, this is my problem, please explain me. You called me and I explained you, this is the storage of string. Directly you are getting the access to that particular data that you wanted. Fine. But if the data is too big, then I will tell you, if the content that you want to know out of me is too big, then I will tell you to come to my home. I will give you my address. Okay, I hope the concept is clear. We'll continue the second difference in second part of it. Thank you.